Copy, I'll still clear takeoff.
Wind check 06012.
Right, thank you. Switch, rolling, now. Secondi. Ora. Corretto centinaio.
Entering North Wales MTA, we're going to proceed into low-fly area 7 for south and north flow for approximately 30 mic. You're clear takeoff and display. The surface wind is 07012.
Hey, well, hi gang, and hey, welcome back. Don't worry, it's just as much as a surprise to me as it is to yourselves, I can tell you. Basically, we're testing a few things at the moment, and just to see if it's going out live on the Facebook group as well. So all being well, it should be. So hey, let us know. So if it's working on the Facebook group, put a few messages about, and let's get a few more people watching the show. So it's not going to be hey, I've already done a 3.5 hour long show today already, so but hey, why not? It's a test, and let's see if it works. Can we get 2 streams working at once? Let's give it a go and find out. Let's go to Duxford, and this was lined up for later in the week, but let's see what happens.
For 35 years, and we would not have been here without having that facility, and for that we thank the museum.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flying Legends 2010.
So literally with a little bit of luck, this should be going out on Facebook as well. So hey, if you're watching on Facebook, why not pop over to join in the chat on YouTube. That's where we're at. That's where we can answer all the messages on the chat room. So it's just a little bit of a test to see if we can get these 2 working today. We were supposed to be doing this dual broadcast from 1 o'clock, but I don't know why that didn't happen. Hey, I tell you what, I'll let you hear the sounds of these aircraft.
Bring them back on the axis in front of us on runway 24. Minimum altitude is 50 feet above the ground, which is quite low, by the way. When you're doing 300 miles per hour at 50 feet above the ground, you really do have inside the aircraft this tail chase. The air above the airfield becomes really turbulent. And
from the left, here is the Spitfire overture.
Six Spitfires, something like what, 1/3 of a squadron?
Yeah.
And at that time, the young people were sitting in these cockpits were an average age of what, 20 years old, 19 years old, and most of them had never even driven a car. Who was driving a car in 1938, 39 or 40 at that age? Of course, some of them had fathers with money and they had driven cars, but most of them had never driven a vehicle with a motor. And after proper training, and we'll see.
It certainly looks like the Facebook side of things is actually working at the moment. So that sounds pretty good news. So hey, thanks to everybody for joining us today. Sorry I won't be able to answer the messages in the Facebook group, but I just noticed there was a couple of messages to say, hey, yeah, it's working, so that's good news. So the plan, to let you know what we're going to be doing, is when we start these live streams, it's going to be on Facebook for around about 10 minutes, and then the rest of the show will switch over 100% to YouTube. So at the moment it's going out live on YouTube, and also the Facebook group, which is this new Facebook group, which is called the Airshow World fans page. So hey, Barry West is there. This is yeah, a bit unexpected. This was scheduled for either later this week, this particular video, or maybe next week, but we're just doing some testing, so hey, why not? Let's see some aircraft and let you hear the sounds.
Horsepower jammed in under that cowling compared to the 990 or something of the prototype. So massive development throughout the war, leading edge, where the rest of the aircraft all have cannons protruding out of the front of the wing.
Look at it.
This is Alan Wade flying the Clipwing Mark V. This was done to improve the roll rate at lows clipped, cropped and clapped, because they were pretty ancient at that point. Mark V's
Excellent. Thank you very much there, Jazzy John 30, letting us know. Yep, Facebook is a good feed. Excellent. So that's 2 at once. Can't beat that. Yep, seems to be working. For some bizarre reason, when I was testing this earlier to do the live at 1 o'clock for Facebook, it certainly was working, but I needed to click the go live button, which was not coming up. It was saying that there was no feed coming through on the Facebook page, but I tried a different computer and it was there. So maybe the browser was out of date, needs a more modern browser.
We'll tell later about the history of the Spitfire back.
Mark Webster, thank you very much for that. He said, yeah, working fantastic. Excellent stuff.
Obviously put into the design of this aircraft everything you got. Yes.
So Tyler wanted to know what time it is over here in the UK right now. It is just coming up to 5 p.m. 5 p.m. over here. What time is it where you are, my man? That's Tyler.
Daily occurrence whenever as nice as it is today.
So we have Dave Harvey coming in, barrel rolling over, he's just nipped off to France to do a bit of jerry speed.
The one very small wings, nevertheless quite good at slow flight because they were equipped with a British invention and the H stacks, which made
There we go. So you should be getting a really great sound. So I hope you've got this on some nice speakers or on those headphones. Literally going from speaker to speaker with those great separate microphones. That's a good tip for anybody that wants to do this sort of thing. Get yourself a couple of separate microphones and feed it into the camera, and boy oh boy, the difference, you should get a pretty nice sound.
And John was telling me yesterday that he'd spoken to Connie Edwards.
And make sure you put the cats on as well, yes, so it stops the wind roar. To me, video is great, but hey, you've got to have the sound, make it sound good as well.
the result of work by a small design team led by
I see so many videos out there that are, obviously when you film an aircraft you're going to be outside, and what totally ruins it is the sound of the wind roar. So hey guys, if you want to do this, make sure you invest in some good wind gags. It makes all the difference.
concession road got the information now.
Hey, well, gang, while you're watching this, what I will do, because we love the sound of these old aircraft, so I won't be doing as much the chitter-chatter as normal. Of course, I'll mention you all, like Kirk Ferrari and everybody else, but I won't be doing so much as normal, so you can hear the sounds. Let's take it up.
Of course, we have to mention that Cliff changed sides. 2 years ago, he was just defected. He's defected. He's come over here and is now flying Spitfires for the RAF and making a good job of reenacting the Battle of Britain, which of course was, as we say, was done here 43 years later. 43 years ago, when the far side of the aircraft had a half-scale chateau built. The Hurricane squadrons in France were based over there for the film.
Yeah.
And there's some wonderful outtakes of 109s beating up the airfield at the time. Well, you can find it on
Interestingly, at no time has ever Cliff Spick had a firing solution on the Messerschmitt. Even though he's been stuck to his tail, he's never quite been in position to shoot.
He's always offset a little bit to the right or the left.
Well, he used to be
Offset to the left. Now he's
there.
was going either to get out of ammunition because he would have fired at empty sky, or maybe things so big that in fact for a fighter bomber at that time, the engineers had even designed a full flight simulation of that.
Beautiful Cub Aviation Mark 17s with the Seafire.
So
So in the chat room today we've got our fantastic Barry West. Barry, nice to see you there, my man. Who else have we got in the chat room? Let's have a look, see who else we can mention. Yorkshire Pod, The Wind, Kirk Ferrari, And we must mention Neil Hubbard, nice to see you as well. So lots of folks joining us for this, goodness gracious, second show of the day. I don't believe it, second show of the afternoon. Mind you, we're into the evening now, but hey, it's mainly just a test. So gang, if you're watching this and you're on the Facebook, we're also on YouTube, going out live on YouTube. So if you want to join us on YouTube, by all means, please do. You'll be able to leave a message in the chat room, and I'll be able to give you a good old shout out. So that's where we are. Normally on the Facebook, I stay on there for around about 10-15 minutes, but today's a bit of a test, so let's see how we get on with the Facebook as well.
You want to run radio check?
Jazzy John's back with us, so thank you, Jazzy John. Nice to see you. Jazz Mac from East Texas, USA. Want to say hello to you. Mark Webster. Who else have we got to say hi to in the chat room? Don't forget, as I said, the chat room, I'm shouting it out from the YouTube channel, so please join us on there as well. That's on Airshow World right now. Neil Hubbard, Richard 5030, and of course we just mentioned Mark Webster. And we're back, he says. And a special mention going out right now to our very own Gordon GB Model Zone, wanting to say hi guys. Barry West giving everybody a good big wave, thank you. Hey, listen to this. Oh, what a lucky man, Barry West. I've had 4 flights in the rear seats of an F4, F-15 and a crew chief. Wow. That is absolutely fantastic, Barry. Very impressive. Hey, if you get any more flights, you know, if you want to put them our way. Cook Ferrari, give it a big thumbs up and a smiley face to our very own Super Barry. So I hope you're enjoying the old Warbirds from Duxford. This is Flying Legends. So literally what we're doing live from the edit room on this Tuesday, well, it's evening time, getting towards 5:10 in the afternoon over here in the UK, and I hope you're having a great day. JCB 67, good afternoon to you from Tennessee Aviation Days shows. Thank you, Julie, giving us that message. Just popped up saying, yeah, looking good on the page, working well. So do your shares. Let's get as many folks as possible watching the Facebook and YouTube.
The first of the heavyweight single, still in its original colours, and that has the fabric wing. Very, very fast. I remember the cranked wing, designed to enable a very large.
So if you were with us earlier this afternoon, we did a show and same thing, live from the edit room, and literally going back in time, we were at Waddington Airshow, looking back at 2009. Wonderful airshow. I hope you enjoyed it.
They are whistling.
Range of over 1,100 miles because of that massive fuel tank. You need a large range when you're out over the Pacific. The Bearcat also, that was a range of over 1,000 miles, because the Bearcat also carry 2 1,000 pounds or 4 or 5-inch rockets. So very, very effective. Of course, the French went on to use the Bearcat and of course the Corsair in the early... Yes?
And a friend of mine was sitting in his Bearcat one day when he heard a big bang. He was on the ground at the engine. And suddenly he was looking up at his engine, propeller still turning, but there was nothing. The same guy on the same field in the Indian field was sitting in his Bearcat ready to take off in a cloud of dust. And suddenly he heard a big bang again. And he was seated in the same position, looking at the sky way up there with nothing left behind his seat. But this time it was not a shell from some artillery position Vietnamese artillery position. It was another Bearcat which just cut him into.
Now we've had two very interesting aeroplanes take off now. This is the German segment. We now have the wonderful Messerschmitt 108 coming in from the right. In aviation, prior to the Second World War, these were both designed as peaceful aircraft. The 108 was designed as a four-seat touring aeroplane, very efficient. We mentioned all over the weekend the level of development that was going on in the late 1930s. It's really evident. This is an aeroplane that was 3-engine airliner. Originally, the first prototypes, the Junkers 52, had just one engine, but was a little underpowered. So they put the 2 engines on the wings as well. But unfortunately, they're actually squared off on the wing itself, not on the flight line. So they both point outwards a little bit, which is a little bit unusual.
Airships. And the only victim they recorded is somebody who wanted to disembark too early and jumped upon a few feet of altitude to the ground and broke the leg. And that was the beginning of Lufthansa. But Lufthansa also has a tradition and knows its own history. And so the aircraft is flown by actual Lufthansa crew members who normally fly 777s, 747s or Airbuses, and the 108, the Messerschmitt 108, is also flown by a Lufthansa pilot. And the 108 is fabulous in that today you have very, very few aircraft, 4-seaters of the same power, going as fast and as cleanly across the skies, while the U-52, look at it and think about it. We're in 1937 and you're in Frankfurt or Berlin Tempelhof, and you're boarding as a passenger a 52 like this one, and you are going to cross the world at that speed and slightly higher altitude, let's say, and in 6 days you'll arrive in Peking. Flying during the day, sleeping in nice hotels at night, and you need it because during the day you would have been bumped all over the sky. And low altitude, then deep into turbulence, into bad weather if there was some bad weather. And that was aviation.
Several 108s were used by the RAF during the war as transport, as liaison aircraft. They've been acquired or captured and they were given their own RAF series, so we did operate them. Because the Junkers 52 was operated by Lufthansa before the war. After the war, they were also still used by, and of course it was also very widely used by the Luftwaffe during the war as a principal. It's being buffeted about a little bit. It's a lightweight aeroplane. Just very, very efficient, but still relatively small track undercarriage, as on the later 109.
It's a family affair. Willy Messerschmitt liked to, whenever he designed a system, he stuck to it, and the 108 or 109 family demonstrates that. 108s today are
in the Berlin Olympics, and was very, very capable then, and is still.
That you think you're flying, you let your imagination work, and just you could say they're musical instruments. He devised 3-dimensional Archival was contemporary with Karl Clemens Bruckner. And Maurice wrote a music one day going back home, which became
Well, as usual, it's absolutely fantastic to see lots of messages appearing in the chat room. Hey, we'll call it the chat box. If Phoebe's about, she loves it when I say chat box. She thinks I'm delving into the old chocolate box. No chocolates for me, mate. So, who else have we got that's popped in the chat room? JCB67, Hans Kutz, nice to see you as well. And of course, lots of messages coming through, so it's really appreciated. And oh, who else have we got? Ripper YOLO, that's a good one. So, certainly hope you're enjoying the aircraft. And what we're doing, it's called Live from the Edit Room, Tuesday evening as it is now, round about getting towards 5:20 in the afternoon here in the United Kingdom. Look at that, Sally B, beautiful stuff.
Sally B, Duxford information, availability 5.
Not just fantastic sounds with the external mics, but also the radio comms as well. So I filmed this, gosh, what year was it? I will double check for you right now.
1936 games. And at the time, aerobatics was what they called the demonstration sport as well as gliding. So using aircraft like this one, well, this is a young man flown by Anna Walker. And,
I think it was around about 2009, 2010, that sort of period. It's a beautiful July afternoon over there at Duxford for the Flying Legends.
Women flying.
Of course, yeah, and of course Anna is also a warbird pilot herself,
sure.
And she does a lot of gliding, so
yeah,
really sort of all-round aviation person. As
and
the wonderful Sally B taxis past in front of us. It's
another girl story, huh?
Yeah. 35 years in preservation and flying. It's an amazing achievement. Now, having, as Anna comes past, please wave to her. You know, these people can see you. Wave to them. It's.
And she's waving. She's waving.
She's waving. Yes, sort of coming past very nicely. The young Meisters are down there.
Hey Sam, nice to see you. And if you are new to Airshow World, don't forget, do the old subscribe to Airshow World. There's a little bell icon. It'll do you a favour if you click on that. Click on the bell icon and then you get the chance to be able to get the notifications and find out when we're live. Because this is a bit of a bonus show today. We've already done one earlier in the day. But I thought we would test this to see if we could do 2 streams going out at the same time. So we're going out on Facebook and also going out on YouTube. So, hey, if you want to get a message into the chat room, make sure you switch over to YouTube, and that's where we'll be able to say hi to you. Just like we're going to say hi to Will21. Hiya, Will. Like your icon on your little... Look at that. Looks like one of the red arrows. Nice.
Because it was designed in San Diego at Ryan's, and
so just while those aircraft are over in the distance, because I don't want to talk over the great sound of the aircraft, we've got a few things to tell you about Facebook and everything else, and also Friday night. If you've never joined us on a Friday night, we do a special show, 1 hour only on a Friday night. It starts at 7 p.m. on the every Friday evening, 7 p.m, 60-minute show. And this week, if you like your fast jets, we've got a Tornado special and also F4 Phantoms. So definitely join us on Friday night for that super show. And another great feature we do, it's called Meet the Fans. So if you'd like to take part in Meet the Fans, all you have to do is send me an email. Email address coming up in just a moment.
And good, reliable, rugged aeroplane that still has that look of being slightly from an earlier era with
so as you see, there's Anna Walker.
It was the Ryan STA with a very closely cowled NASCAR engine.
Lorwin 61, see you later. So yes, email address. It is as simple as airshowworld1. That's the figure 1, airshowworld1 at gmail.com. And in the subject, just put Meet the Fans, okay? And all I need from you is a few photographs, a little bit of information about yourself, your hobbies and all that sort of stuff, and you could be on the Friday night show. coming up this Friday night, we've got DJ Wilf. We'll be featuring him, and also featuring his fantastic YouTube channel and all the other good stuff. So if you want your YouTube channel to be featured, Meet the Fans is where you need to check it out. Send us that email.
Was the Spitfire a better aeroplane than the Mustang? It's an irrelevant argument. They're different generations. They were designed to do different things. The Mustang came along a lot later and used the less...
So Tyler wants to know, who the hell's Stu? Who's Stu? That's my good self, Stu Bear. Okay, so great to have you on. Ben Evans saying hi to Ben.
Slightly of an earlier era too. They're more contemporary with the early Spitfires and developed, whereas the Mustang came along a little bit later.
Hey, some strange messages there, Ben.
P-51 Mustangs. Trench aircraft with multiple souls.
And the main man himself, our very own Matthew. Hiya, Matthew. How are those horses? So, Matthew, thank you for putting the message in and saying great footage as always. Stu.
It was designed with the help.
I was going to say Stu, but hey, he put it properly. He said Stuart. Nice one.
Hungarian.
That's my posh Sunday name, by the way, Stuart.
Was head of the aerodynamics department at University of Caltech, California.
Carlos. Hi, Carlos. All the way from Canada. We have loads of folks that watch Airshow World from Canada and the USA, so it's always great to see you.
The prototype Mustang in 130 days. And when it was rolled out, it did have to.
So any folks watching this on the Facebook group at the moment, or wherever Facebook gets around, don't forget, if you want to get the full picture and everything else and the full show, pop over to YouTube, Airshow World YouTube right now, okay? And you can say hi to the bear.
You have one instant legend. Had a lot of fuel, a laminar flow wing, which meant less drag in the cruise, so they were able to get...
There we go. Thank you, Kirk. I love the little icon. Stu Bear.
And it enabled bombers to be escorted all the way into Germany. Mustang and drop tanks could fly for anything up to 8 hours.
So I don't know how you guys are watching this, whether it's on the phones, on your headphones or whatever, but hey, if you've got some nice speakers on those big tellies of yours, pump up the volume. I tell you what, this is going to sound pretty nice. Here we go. Literally should be flying all around your room with a nice stereo split sound.
American forces used the P-40 in the Far East.
There's one generation.
Well then, Jazzmac, you better join us Friday night, 7 PM. You're going to love it. Phantoms.
There was an American unit based here, and they went all the way from the islands of the Pacific to Japan, escorting B-29s at very high altitudes during the above Japan in 1945, just before the end of the war and the atomic weapons were first used.
Of course, the Mustang remained in service with a number of...
And a message going out to Islander. Hi there, nice to see you from Jersey.
In the Mustang that's come over from the Fairtail LA, we have George Perez.
And just taking off, there we go, one of our favourites. That's the B-17, Sally B.
Because he couldn't afford to buy a Luscombe. So he had a Mustang.
Now, back at this particular air show, of course, my partner was with me. That's my photographic partner. That's my daughter, our Heather. And we've been showing quite a few of Heather's photographs just recently, and people just cannot believe the quality of her photographs that she was able to take when she was, in between the ages of 7 and, around about 15 or 16 when she used to go to the air shows with me, and boy oh boy did she take some stunning photographs. And as I say, we've been showing them recently, so
because sadly the French one is now
if we get time we may show some again just a little bit later.
reasons, but because of many reasons, including a little bit of finance. And so Sally B is a one and only look after. But in fact, the B-17s were flown by barely 20 years old crews, and just like the fighters.
Hey there, Tyler. Well, if you want to be on Meet the Fans, please do. You know how to do it. We've told them enough times, but hey, we'll give you a reminder a little later in the show. And the email address.
And the fact is that this...
And a special mention going out there to Alan Sheen, watching from Ladysmith, Vancouver Island.
Well, 7 years ago,
and of course, if you are new to Airshow World, you make sure you hit the subscribe button. Oh, and that like at the bottom as well, okay? Oh, listen to those aircraft. That is wonderful.
You can see these guys, the guys in the Mustangs who will come up and support them nice and close up.
The Mustang is actually doing what it did then,
And hey, don't forget, some people say to me, hey Stu, yeah, but how much is it to subscribe? It's absolutely free to subscribe, free to watch. So why not do it right now? Subscribe to Airshow World, hit the bell icon. That's the important bit. You'll know the moment we're live.
From the structure, lots of things in terms of strength. But what you have to do when you fly is just...
And of course, if you'd like to watch this video without all the chat from the bear, we can do that for you as well. A little bit later, this video will be on Airshow World, and you can watch it without all the chitter-chatter and saying hi to everybody. So
just like if you were dancing.
Lots of good reasons to subscribe to Airshow World. There you go. That's the advert. Back to the video.
Uniforms and fighting a war, and here it comes with the smoke.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this smoke is for all of the all the people in the Sally B Supporters Club. This one's for you.
The particular history of this aircraft in itself is a saga. This aircraft still exists because of a woman.
Indeed.
Sally Ellie Benningbow. She's the person...
Ellie Sallingbow.
Ellie Sallingbow, I get it. She's the person behind this aircraft being still alive. She wanted it to fly, and so the B-17 still flies. Sally B still flies.
Of air shows and private ownership. There's a massive amount of effort and sacrifice has gone into keeping this aeroplane flying, and if it's going to carry on, as indeed we know the French one couldn't at this particular time, although I do like the way the French one has not been, it's been
These two are then painted in military colors, but most Cubs were painted yellow with a little Cub figure on the tail, because that's the name of the aircraft. And the Viper Cub is much more than a very small aircraft, very small two-seater with a small engine, 65 or 90 horsepower, nothing compared to a fighter. But the Viper Cub is the answer, the universal answer to one very special question. What is perfection? Saint-Exupéry one day wrote that perfection can be approached when there's nothing more to subtract. You don't reach perfection by adding things. You reach perfection by subtracting things. And so you get nearer to the essence of a concept. The Viper Cub is the concept of the aircraft kept to a minimum. Minimum engine, minimum weight. And the thing is that, and you can even do minimum things, which is bad things, just like turning without banking.
Indeed. Very
1935, 36, and since that period, nobody ever did a better basic elementary aircraft than what was done at Piper's at the time by an engineer, two engineers.
Well, Tyler, thank you for joining us today. He says, gotta go, Stu Bear. We'll catch you later. Bye for now.
A lot of these aeroplanes still flying. Don't go, Sarah, they're 23 minutes apart. 23 minutes apart. And they're very manoeuvrable aeroplanes, which is what you want. If you're down with, you know, in close contact.
A very good evening to you there, Joel. Nice to see you on from Croton on Hudson, New York.
They're going to fight back, and you need to be able to be manoeuvrable, get yourself out of trouble, keep down among the trees, use whatever ground cover you have. Low flying. There's a
okay there, Tyler. We'll look out for you, my man, okay? Thank you.
And it just said low, slow, and with the door open. And on a lovely summer's evening, when you're not being shot at generally, then there is nothing nicer than tootling around at low level in a Piper Cub. And I'm actually quite jealous of Dave and Bob because they're having fun up there. Originally powered by a 40 horsepower engine. Next to nothing.
That you land long and vacate the runway. When you land on the grass, you vacate by the right side.
So now we've had the spotter planes.
Robin, hi. Saying hello from Belgium. Nice to see you on, my man.
The Russian engineers and the Russian officers.
Dawn Healy pops up. Come on, remind me. What's your real name?
Flippers more than wings.
I meant to write it down, but hey, brain like a sieve. So thank you for seeing you on.
And propellers derived from ratchet.
They were added pieces of wood in the leading edge, which meant that if anything was broken, you could glue it together nice and easily. Now we have two Yak 3s and a Yak 9
arrow on the fuselage.
And staying over there in North America, Donna's RC. Nice to see you. Says hi from Loveland, Colorado. Luke, that's it. Hiya, Luke. Nice to see you on, my man.
Two in the fuselage and two in the wings, and they could take up to 441 pounds. That's probably 200 kilos of bombs.
Some of them were flown by women.
Yes, indeed.
Just like any aircraft in the Russian inventory at the time. This was, remember, the Great Patriotic War. And remember, too, that at the end of the war, when the accounting time came, they found out that something like 22 million
something like that, yes.
Russian people had been lost during the war. For a pilot, one flick, two flicks, little check.
Hey gang, so if you've been with us throughout this week, you'll remember yesterday we did an afternoon show as well, and we featured some of Heather's fantastic photographs, so hey, we're going to do that again just a little later, so make sure you watch these. I play these especially so the youngsters can think, hey, yeah, I can get out with a camera and do that, because remember, the photographs you're going to see, she took these when she was, let me work this one out.
You don't need to be brave to fly it, you just need to be brave to land it.
When she was, believe it or not, 7 years old. So they're coming up just a little bit later. Some beautiful photographs from the Royal International Air Tattoo back in 2006.
That's why he flies so low, in fact. He doesn't see anything outside.
And we're going to show those because early next week, probably next Monday, we'll do a show and live from the edit room, replaying a brilliant air show from 2006 from Fairford. You remember that year? We had that fantastic MiG
Now comes
the
moment of truth.
They did the thrust vectoring. Hey, if you want to know what that's all about, make sure you're watching on Monday.
This is all about bringing the I-16 on the ground in one piece. Obviously, he did a kiss landing.
Paquito, nice to see you on. What part of the world are you from? Let me know.
He's on the hard surface, so...
Armin, good day to you.
So you can see over the nose.
Yorkshire Purd is back with us.
Direction of stability.
He's probably digging a trench in the
that
runway.
mythical lack of directional stability. End of the 20s, beginning of the 30s, really.
Now look at that aircraft.
We have
The one with the number 9 on it.
We have
What on
the,
earth is that?
shuttle where aircraft would be handicapped. The start times would be fixed so that slower aircraft took off first, and then the faster aircraft took off last and caught them up to make the finishes very exciting. It's still done. The Royal Aero Club still do air races such as this, although not round pylons. And so here we have...
Wouldn't say covered with women, but probably you found him on the track.
Well, he ended up with a French wife, didn't he? So obviously, yeah. So,
Okay.
you know, man had taste.
But he had a problem. He loved flying. He couldn't live without piloting. And so he was, what, barely 20 years old when extraordinary time span.
He did. He took off on February the 5th, 1939, from Gravesend. He spent 60 hours airborne over a period of only 103 hours, travelling at an average speed. The man who had used an Irvine parachute, and he parachuted out to the aeroplane, which would then hit the deck.
But look at that new gun. The cockpit is almost flush with the upper fuselage, which means that you don't see anything outside. And it's a very narrow fuselage. So both shoulders are being compressed by the sides of the fuselage. And it's noisy, and it's vibrating, and you spend the better part of 2 full days airborne, crossing Africa like a missile.
Indeed, but he not only did that, he also managed to hold the fastest ever King's Cup air race victory, averaging 236 miles an hour over a triangular course of just over 1,000 miles. So he was a great pilot. There are wonderful stories abounding of how he was, but just little things, like even into his late 80s, he would still drive everywhere in his Porsche at 80 miles an hour. And if he got stopped for speeding, the policeman would say, "Did you know you were doing 80 miles an hour?" He said, "Well, I should do. I set the speed control for that." Great man, of course. He then went on to become the chief production test pilot, flying Spitfires and Lancasters at the Shadow factory at Castle Bromwich. And his well, we estimate that the sound of 3 Rolls-Royce Kestrels in the air together has not been heard over Britain for about 75 years.
Yep.
It's been a very, very long time. Of course, the
British aircraft sound. The Mercury engine was a radial engine where the cylinders are around the crankshaft housing, and normally this type of engine turns quite slowly. Typical revolution per minute on a radial engine are
Doing the
around
quick
1900
reminder for you guys
RPM.
out there.
And
If
so,
you're watching
they
this
just
live right now on Facebook,
quite slowly.
don't forget, I can't really answer any messages on the Facebook, but if you want to get the full view and all the good fun and all the chat and everything else, retune over to YouTube. Right now, that's where we are, having a good old chat with some fantastic folks in the chat room. Lots of people in the chat room, I might add. So, hey, come along, say hi, how you doing, the bear? So that's where we are right now.
Alloy.
Doing a live dual stream. Well, live as far as I'm concerned. I think I'm, yeah, click, yeah, I'm here. And letting you know, it's getting close to 20 to 6 in the afternoon on 17th of November 2020. You're with the Bear, live from the edit room, replaying some of the classic aircraft. And today we're looking at, hey, as you can see, these old warbirds from Flying Legends at Duxford.
collection. where it remains at the moment only the only one flying. Stephen has one. We're waiting to see what's going to happen on that. But a wonderful aeroplane. Also, there we have the Lysander. The Lysander was designed as an Army cooperation aeroplane, designed to have little stub wings on the undercarriage to carry.
Must admit, it feels quite strange going out on
really
Facebook at the moment. Who knows who's out there, who's watching? But if you're enjoying this, don't forget, do the pop over to YouTube.
Just up the road.
Subscribe to Airshow World. You will always know when we are actually live. And hey, just a quick mention about Facebook. Some great folks out there. Believe it or not, the fans of Airshow World. They've created this great Facebook page, and that's what it's called, Fans, Airshow World Fans page. All right, check it out, and please join. You can add photographs, videos, whatever, a little bit of chat, all sorts.
After dinner, after supper, and they would cross the channels, all lights out, of course, get into France, cross the country and go to places like...
Hey, we'll see you later. Kirk Ferrari. Always great to see your name pop up in the chat room, mate. And have yourself a fantastic evening, all right? We'll see you later.
At night, they would land in a field, not an airfield, just a field with 3 lights arranged on the ground on a triangular shape, very dimmy lights, and they would land there and either disembark a passenger or a sack, something, equipment, or embark, pick up somebody, just like it happened one day with that man trying to fly on the left side of the fuselage and fell down like a sack of potatoes on the back seat under the pilot and said, "Oh, can go." And that gentleman becomes late. It's unconventional in terms of flying cast and characteristics. It's quite unstable in pitch, for instance, and demands to be trimmed. But,
hey, Luke,
once you
we'll see you later, my man, okay?
Yes, for the close thermally. Just got to put a broadcast on.
It's a good aircraft, while the
caution.
You broke it already? Your remote control plane? What are you like, Luke?
Great flying.
Great to see you in the chat room, so thank you for joining me. So when you see Dawn Healy pop up, it's not really Dawn, it's Luke. He's using his mum's phone. So well and truly confused me, so good on you. Good on you.
Leading there is Charlie Brown in the Historic Aircraft Collection Hawker Nimrod 2. The single seat, the navalised version of the Hawker Fury fighter. The Demon displays Demon with the diminutive Stuart Goltz. The obvious thing to do was to make a fighter version, and so they made the Demon.
But the architecture is the same. They share the same architecture and the same engine.
Now Charlie pulling up in the Nimrod to go and play above, while Stu and Dave go around. You can see underneath the wings of the Hind are the bombs. The Hind, you can also see that they clearly had the same designer. In fact, the Hurricane was designed initially as a monoplane Hawker Fury. Now, in the 1960s, a number of these were found in Afghanistan, and were recovered back in the home of the Ford Motor Company. One is in the RAF Museum. 2 more went to Canada, and 1 went to the Shuttleworth.
And now this is Charlie Brown displaying
as well as the Heart and the Demon and the Hawker Hinds we have here, there's also such things as the Hawker Orleans 2-seat.
Hey, so don't worry guys, we've got more coming up very, very soon. But hey, before we carry on with the show, I did promise to, because we get lots of younger viewers watching this, especially this time of day. So As you know, I'm a big fan of trying to encourage folks to get out there, the youngsters and what have you, with your cameras. So here's an example for you. So I'm going to show you some photographs right now, and these were taken by my daughter when she was 6 or 7 years old, believe it or not. And she started taking these photographs. She got recognised by the Royal International Air Tattoo, and they asked her if she would literally do the official calendar, which she did, and that paid for her camera and what have you. So hey, before we move on with the video, just check some of these wonderful photographs out. So remember, taken at the age of either 6 or 7. Absolutely stunning photographs. And these were taken from the Royal International Air Tattoo, which, hey, this particular air show, if you want to see it, it will be on the live from the edit room next Monday. So let's go through a few more of these absolutely stunning shots. Beautiful blue skies from 2006. Now that is that thrust vectoring MiG-29. Amazing aircraft. If you've never seen that display, you better watch Monday. So hey, quick plug for Monday's show, F-18. Now that is one of my favorite shots. Beautiful. Quickly going through these. The Team Aguila, that's the Spanish display team. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed some of those. So well done, Heather, when she was either 6 or 7. Incredible. Okay, time to get back to the video. So let's roll it.
Army cooperation airplanes, different roles, and there was even a Hawker Hart trainer, a dual control trainer that we used well into the middle of World War II, especially down in South Africa.
So there you go, gang. You can achieve anything. And I tell you, the cameras weren't what they weren't what you got today, lad. I mean, literally, the sort of footage, video-wise and still-wise, you can get with these new, even on the phone. Amazing.
And that use of what power was available within an airframe which was quite bulky compared to what without struts, without drives, without fixed landing gear, and those things, because obviously when they're standing 3-point, the tail is low on the ground, and you don't.
And I tell you what, just for your viewing, gang, here we go. There's the actual camera. There we go. Huge, great camera. It doesn't show how long that lens is, but absolutely massive lens it was. So hey, well done, well done. That's our very own Heather. Okay, back to the show any second. Just a mo. I'll just have to move this back to where we were. So just bear with the bear, moving his microphone around.
Equivalent of the Spitfire here.
From TFC that we were was 1615.
Still wondering if the Germans would use gas bombs against us. So that was there. That would change colour if there was any form of nasty gas.
Andrew Murphy, that's a nice compliment. Thank you very much, young man. Young man, he says, by far you're my fave channel for stuff like this. Airshow World. Well, pass the message. Let's get as many folks enjoying the shows that we do. She probably, hey, I tell you what, Julie, she's probably watching now.
It gets muffled and very soft and remains powerful. Hey girls.
Next 50, are you still with Duxford?
Those 8 Julians buried in the wing were the result, or the actual reason that Mitchell came up with the elliptical whip to actually get everything in the wing.
To get everything in the
There's a lovely story. Someone said to him, why did you make the wing shape?
This is, it's a bit of a Hold on, let's move the right one around. It's a bit of a bonus show you're getting today. We didn't plan to do this.
Very efficient
Because of course, we were live from 1 o'clock. That's our usual time in the afternoon when we go live, and we just wanted to do a little bit more testing, and that's what we're doing right now. Doing 2 streams at once. You're going out. We are going out live on Facebook and also YouTube. That's where I'm reading all the messages out. So if you're watching on Facebook, get yourself over to the YouTube channel of Airshow World. Check it out right now. And you can join in with all the chat, just like these fantastic folks that we've got right now.
And it was a work of genius when somebody decided to take something that was
Joel, catch you later.
Increase the wingspan, and then, in inverted commas, borrow 4 engines from the Beaufighter production line and clamp them on the front of the wing. And a true legend was born.
Dakota Roger, and he's obviously got a message that we're back to the original plan.
Very nice to fly. It could also fit in the great big 2,000 and 4,000 and 8,000 pounds blast bombs, the big almost dustbin shaped bombs, and with modification it was able to take up to the 22,000.
Just stop by, I'm trying to get a message to the ground crew, maybe it might be an idea
Hey, that's great to hear. There, Andrew Murphy. Andrew's saying, hey, Stu, thanks for those Baycat 15X scanner videos that I've actually done. Basically what he's saying, I'll tell you in a minute. Let's hear this.
Well, that was one.
Thanks for your help. The ground crew on the way. I'll tell you when.
Oh yes, you can put messages on the Facebook right now, but unfortunately I won't be able to answer to those.
And eventually the
but maybe Julie might be able to do some.
Quite a long way from the original Lancaster infantry. Now the aeroplane now carries the markings of Phantom of the Roar. There were 35 Lancasters out of the 7,000 built that managed to achieve more than 100 bombing missions.
Oh yes, radio scanner tutorials. So hey, if you're interested in radios and all that sort of stuff, just like myself, bit of a passion for the listening to the airband, hence that's why you can hear the radio comms on this particular video. We've got video tutorials, how to use those particular scanners, because people buy them and go, that's a bit tricky. How the hell do I get my head round systems and groups? So it's always a good idea. Have a look at the videos and think, yeah, I can do that, and you can get the best out of your radio then.
Because normally they do have lots of bugs smashed on them.
One of my favourite things is I bought one of these cheap GPSs, only about £10. It explains how to do it, so when I'm driving around in the car, the radio literally automatically scans to whatever airfield I'm driving past. So, hey, if you like your radios, just do a search on Airshow World. It's all there.
Take higher G if you're sitting down or even laying down.
Funny thing about the Stearman 450, as someone who operates a Stearman 225, is that the 450 horsepower with almost a double horsepower doesn't go faster. No, it doesn't.
Donna's at RC asking the question. Right, okay, if you see in the message at the top, it says live from the edit room, and was today's date. Basically what it is, I'm in the edit room going through the old video archives of Airshow World, and boy oh boy, there's a lot of air shows right from the 1980s right up to the present day. So that's what we're doing right now, because unfortunately because of the L word and the C word that we know all about, the pandemic, you know, I don't say those things. But of course we can't get out and about doing the filming, so go through the archives. That's what live from the edit room is all about.
The girls were saying that both pilots managed to get new Breitling watches, but they already had Breitling watches and they were given new straps. They didn't think that was particularly fair, but never mind. I'm sure the deal is going to be very good for the long run. Now coming around, they've again moved into position. Back to standing up, holding that, just to stand in that slip.
So watching this somewhere down there in Portsmouth is my very good friend.
It's just hard work.
That's Andy Hare. Hi, Andy. How you doing? Nice to know you're out there enjoying the aircraft.
Fancy will get me into trouble with somebody, but that's not what I meant.
Now, Andy is a fantastic photographer as well, and knowing Andy for quite a few years, first met him at Mildenhall.
Get them into the rig. Strap in, do the show, smiling, looking glamorous and waving.
And goodness gracious, how long ago was that? Must have been about 25 years ago. So
miles an hour. Imagine if you're going half as much again.
A very big aviation enthusiast is Andy, just like most people on here.
Demanding and hard work with these girls.
And with them is back the old fantasy golden age of aviation when people were, this was right after the Great Depression or right behind the Great Depression days. William Faulkner, who himself was a pilot. And,
nice one, Andrew. That sounds good, doesn't it? Andrew Murphy, that is. My favourite air show I've been at was when I got a photograph of myself standing by the prop Corsair.
But the thing is that...
Hey, well, if you want to show everybody that photograph, all you got to do, pop over to the Facebook group, and it's called Airshow World Fans. It's Airshow World Fans page, and I'm sure Julie will put a message in the chat room so you can find it nice and easily.
On the wing there, upside down, pulling gears. They come in at the bottom of those manoeuvres. All the blood is just being forced to their heads while they're upside down. They just feel like their eyeballs are going to pop out of their head. Now they're coming round now. They're getting into line astern formation, being either upright or inverted, and they're now lying sideways across on the rig.
But the two pilots,
Martin Carrington and Don. Pilots I've ever known, and a man who is capable of eating more than any other human being I've ever met in my life.
Special mention going out this afternoon, or should we say evening now, 2 minutes to 6. A message going out to Michael Jane saying you rule. That's Airshow World. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say so.
Yeah, and of course Martin is
there we go.
Rat. This is Martin. Started flying when he was
the Facebook group, if you can see the message box, if you're in the chat room. Julie very kindly just put a message in saying it's Airshow World fan page on Facebook. Join us. You'll be made very, very welcome, and you get a chance to, you can post your photographs, video, and join in with all the chat.
Pilots flying the repeats here on the pleasure flights, which of course you can do after the show. Now, the aeroplanes are going to mid-air. They have actually done this before. At one point, the world record was a 4-foot-long baton passed between the two aircraft. That has now been superseded, and the girls have been known to touch hands. So watch as they're going now. Pulling up. It is testing conditions.
Erwin, catch you later.
Today, and they're not going to put the girls in any danger, but they're still...
Probably no more video filming for you for a while. I bet they're going to do same as what in the UK. So not good, man, not good. But hey, we don't mention things like the L and C word.
Well, it's a bit bumpy today. It doesn't.
But catch you later, my man.
Watch, get your cameras ready for the break. I wasn't sure about the new colour scheme when I first saw it, but I think in bright sunlight and a bright blue sky, I think it looks great.
Andrew, well, it's great to, you know, have a goal out there to what you want to do, and if that's what you want to do, you go for it, my man, and yep, stick to your dreams. They'll come true one day, I promise you. Work hard, and you'll get there.
These girls, I've seen them work very hard when they go somewhere, because it burns a lot of fuel. They very often have to refuel on the way somewhere. And while the pilot's doing the...
Yeah, the old barnstormers, that's what they used to call them. This C word, you know, that virus, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, rewind. Nothing political on here.
Bits of rain coming down. The poor girl was absolutely soaked.
It's just things to put a smile on your face and forget about the day-to-day things.
What do you look for when you're employing a new girl? And she said, somebody that can keep smiling when she's wringing the water out of her last pair of socks. Now the girls again sideways on the rig, coming in for an opposition. 45-degree opposition movement.
And there's a bird crossing the place. The bird is coughing because of the smoke.
Well, the smoke is healthy. It's not. It's no longer diesel. This is baby oil. It's almost good for you. This is.
Try to breathe baby oil on your oven.
Just leave it there, Melvin.
Yeah. Even baby oil.
So the girls with the leg high up.
Hey Luke, you didn't think I meant something else when I said the C word? Absolutely not.
Speeds up to get the speed. Pulls the nose up.
Nice message there from Tyler. Okay, my man, we'll catch you later, okay? Thank you for joining us today, and everybody else. Don't forget, keep sharing the videos. Give it the thumbs up. That's the important bit. Thumbs up.
I think I'm too big for the ring. I would love to have a go.
And if you are new and you've just popped along to Airshow World wondering what the hell's going on, what it's all about, it's the bear putting his hands into the vaults of the library of Airshow World. There's a lot of videos, enough to keep us going for years to come. And we're looking at the Flying Legends Airshow back in July, round about 2010, 29, round about that period.
And
of course,
this
they did this
a bit bigger and call it the DC3 or DST for double sleeping transport. And this is it. This is the aircraft. The DC3 was introduced around 1936-37. Suddenly gave the possibility to fly not non-stop but continuously between west and east coast, including night stops, of course, but you
now
could fly
that
at night.
is a stunning sight. Look at that.
By the way, this display of this DC3 coming from Norway is absolutely stunning.
And if you joined us last, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday,
DC3 demo.
on the live show then, from the edit room, what we did, we showed you the
Use of the aircraft and having flown the
special
DC3
air show they had at Duxford last, what was it, June 2019, called Dax over Duxford. And if you want to see that again, it's simple enough to find. It's a brilliant bit of video. It's obviously on Airshow World. Where else?
This gives them a
Dylan says, hey, I'm back.
which is a bit larger, and as the aircraft is very light, it can be thrown around the sky and banked.
OR from over there in Israel. OR, nice to see you. Long time no see. Stu, how are you doing? We're doing great. Absolutely brilliant.
Reasonably large numbers.
So what we're doing, as we told you, live from the edit room, playing you some old classic video footage. The DC-10 is my favourite plane to fly in the PC flight sim. Hey, Andrew, are you using that new Microsoft Flight Sim 2000?
Pre-war Dakotas, DC-3s, by the very small passenger door, an ordinary airliner door. But it was found that a great big cargo loading door on the side made it ideal for carrying all sorts of cargo, and it really was one of the workhorses of the Second World War, used in all theatres to get all sorts of things. You could even put complete jeeps in the back up on a ramp.
A DC-3 can be flown two ways. One is you're just caressing it. You don't use authority, just like any aircraft you would say, but this is a big aircraft, and you have a feeling that if you are a bit strong on the controls, what you're doing is just stretching cables, bending aluminium parts, but the end result is nothing. It's an aircraft which won't bank easily, which won't remaining in the world, the Morane 406. At the war, at World War II started in 1937, this would have been the fighter. Problem is that when it started for good in 1939, the Morane 406 was outmoded, outdated, and desperately lacking in speed and climbing capabilities. Nevertheless, the French Air Force used them by the hundreds in 1939.
Hey Dylan, constantly. The phone though is, yeah, it's in another room, but occasionally I just hear it, and normally it's the usual 0121 do one sort of number.
Otherwise, other than that, the 406 is a delightful aircraft to fly.
As we saw earlier on,
There you go, Andrew. You'll have to treat yourself to one of these new mega computers. Yeah, it's pretty memory intensive, isn't it? That new flight sim. Hey, one day.
Not up to date. Too bad, because it has class. Morane Saunier was and still is.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he, Julie? Sacha Distel. Yeah. It's a French guy, and
its base one has been in fact built under license in Switzerland.
you see, I've got a good excuse because you guys can re-watch this without all the bare chatter from myself. But
it's because
it was very annoying at Flying Legends, because this guy, this French guy, really nice chap, but
in this business,
he wouldn't shut up. And everybody wanted to hear the sound of the aircraft.
Care of it, modifying things, trying to restore originality as well as safety into this beautiful little fighter. Of course, the Morane 406 was of little use, some say, because the Battle of France was lost by France against Germany. But as during the Battle of France, which lasted 6 weeks only, the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe...
So there you go. Everybody wanted to hear the sound of the aircraft, and we were all next to these big speakers, and of course it drowned everything out. But hey, my excuse for this is we want to keep talking to you fantastic folks in the chat room. But each time the plane goes by, I do try to turn the volume up and go quiet, like right now.
Being short of 900 combat aircraft, the Luftwaffe, which engaged the Royal Air Force in the Battle of Britain, was a bit weaker than it could have been, and that probably this contributed to aviation in numbers, aircraft parades this show. Followed by Fred Acari, the French airline pilot in his Sea Fury, followed by, which one is this? That's a TF Steventon, the American one, in the fighter collections.
Brian Smith in the French Mark. The first French Skyway was being flown by Brian Smith. Sorry, no, Carl Schofield, the dog as well.
Hey, they do it on purpose there, Andrew. Especially these days. Have you noticed at the air shows, they tend to play more music than ever before? And of course, if you're filming it, you put it on YouTube. YouTube does not like it at all. You get a message saying, hey, this is copyrighted music.
Elements of Spitfires taking up, that is true.
Good point there, Dylan.
Outside, we're using the hard runway. We have the Yaks.
Yes, Luke. YouTube is really good at finding copyrighted material and stuff, and quite often people have downloaded my videos and tried to put them out as their own, but that's where YouTube is really good. I think when you get so many subscribers and viewers, it gives you an extra option, and it's like a tracker. So it knows if somebody's downloaded your video and re-uploaded it, which I do get that. I do get that quite a lot, but they don't get away with it for long.
The big sky. Yeah. And Stephen devised.
Oh, I think it's somebody wanted to sell me something. That's what normally happens at this time of day.
He got his reward, which is that
I normally try to sell them something. Try to sell them a DVD.
under the guidance of the boss of the Flyers, Pete Kinsey. This gives time to Stephen and some free space to just do what he wants to do most, which is have fun and express his own idea of freedom through the sky with this fantastic little aircraft.
Hey, well, with a bit of luck there, Luke, we may get to that 100,000k. You never know. And it's all thanks to you guys. So, hey, if you're new, make sure you keep on subscribing. The more folks we get on, the more, hey, the more we can do. Oh, we always love to see Pirate of the Missouri. Nice to see you on the nice to see you on here today. Oh, as always, beautiful sounds and footage. Love it.
All days, texting Trista. Dakota, thanks very much. What an excellent display. And taxi to start. Thank you.
Yes, there, Julie. I think it was a friend of the guy that actually run the Airshow, and I think in the end they did have a quiet word with him.
Work before to organize everything and to make it not only look good but be safe. Because this is aviation. Aviation, you're doing, the first thing you're thinking about and dreaming at night is safety. Try to make it today and make it safe because you want to make it again tomorrow and next year. And a real pilot's ambition is to do these kind of things as late as possible in the pilot's life. And so what you need to have is safety first. And so
Hey Luke, catch you later my man. Have a great evening. Enjoy your dinner.
Man, Pete Kinsey. Pete Kinsey is in charge of the flying here, and Pete is a very subdued gentleman. He's a total aviator. He's somebody who started
You see what I mean?
gliders, and who's a very good glider pilot. And the glider pilot.
Hey, come on, we want to hear the sound of the aircraft. Shush, man.
Soar above high mountains, snow-capped mountains like the Alps, on his own, and do beautiful things. But Pete Kinsey,
Yeah, Julie,
also
it drove me absolutely crazy.
He once was a member of the British National Aerobatic Team, and he became an airline pilot, and he's flying.
Downwind, ready to land, and
Golf Alpha Mike, pass your message.
Yeah, gang, I think in the end, he did get lots of complaints.
Because you've got so many
Oh, he's
people
back again.
behind you, so what you want to do is bring them on the ground and let them go, and roll straight ahead until the remote end of the runway, where you can then turn right with a braking problem or whatever needs more space. You have to be very careful and not only fly for yourself, but fly for the others.
Delta Kilo Roger, we'll do that for you. Have a nice flight back. Bye-bye.
That's what aviation is.
H1015.
Meanwhile, the first part of it is common sense.
Hey, thank you, Andrew.
Your skill or whatever. It's common sense, because when you add common sense to everything else, you end up with a good aviator. And those people who fly the aircraft today are good aviators, but they won't fly. They won't be able to fly the aircraft without another time, set up this whole fleet looking at the aircraft and watching the show, and some of them fly the aircraft, and some others maintain the aircraft, and some others do park the cars in the parking areas, and some of those in the control tower just keep the watch in it. And all these people together make flying legends.
Sky Raiders, and the Mustangs at the rear.
Hey, well, gang, we're just about out of time. So thank you very much for joining me today, this afternoon, this evening. It's been absolutely brilliant. And no, of course, well, the only thing live about this is my good self live in the edit room and the fantastic folks in the chat room. So thank you very much for watching us, delving into the archives of Airshow World with some great old footage. And today you've been watching the Flying Legends from around about, I must double check, but I think it was 2010, so really enjoyed it. So thank you, Pirate of the Missouri, and everybody else. Thanks for joining us this early evening show. So have yourself a brilliant rest of your Tuesday, and we'll catch you Friday night for the Friday night live show from 7 p.m. UK time. You take care.
Is everybody else okay to take off?
Wind check 06012.
Alright, thank you. Switch. Rolling. Now. Secondi. Ora. Corretto centinaio.
And just before we do actually go, don't forget that new Facebook page that's been created. Facebook group, get it right, my boy. By the fans of Airshow World. It's called Airshow World Fans Page. Check that out right now. And I'm sure Julie will put another message in the chat box to let you know all about it. But as far as... Oh, by the way, keep chatting for around about 10 minutes, I believe, after the show. Something like that. But as far as the bear's concerned, that's it. I'm out of here. We'll see you Friday night, 7 p.m. with Meet the Fans and all the rest of it, all the good stuff. See you Friday. Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye for now.